Hi and welcome to A1 Figures. Today we're going to be doing a review of the one, the only Penny Hardaway. And for those of you who know how I do reviews, I do the background of the player. I then go into the figure itself and the boxing and all that kind of stuff. And I just need to give a prelude. I only bought one of the two. This comes in a 2-pack. I like Penny, but not enough to spend, 300 bucks. That's the cheapest to get a 2-pack. Again, he won't be in the United States for another month or two, anyways. So I found this online for under 200 bucks. Just bought one of them. It comes with the figure, a ball, stand, a couple extra hands, and but I didn't have any other stuff. I'm not a huge fan of him. Just gonna start off, but I did want to get at least one of him, and so I think I got this for 170 with shipping 150, and this guy got it at the toy whatever so conference, and so anyways, just to give you the background on that, so there will be no box or accessories, and but let's just start off and we'll kind of give the background of Penny Hardaway, and I just got to start. I had tons of debate on this guy on Instagram about him and the figure and the selection, and I just, as much as I do like him, I actually was a big Penny fan, and I always felt bad because the guy always got hurt, because I think he missed out. He could have been really, really good. He was 6'7", long arms. Um, you know, he looked taller than he was. He kind of had like a Tracy McGrady type build, just a real lanky kind of guy, and just a solid player. Never great, but so let's just start off. Penny Hardaway, we know him as his name is Anthony Hardaway. He was a point guard and also a small forward. Like I said, for about 6'7". When he plays, about 190, 195 pounds. He went to Memphis Tech and Memphis State, and he was a first round, third pick by the Golden State Warriors, except he was traded. And let me just read what happened. Is that the Magic actually wanted to draft Chris Webber, because the year before they drafted Shaq, and Chris Webber, though he wasn't as good as Shaq, was like, this could be a good 1-2 inside punch. You got Shaq and Webber, two big guys at the time, dominate the inside, and so and he was the first pick, and so the how's that happen? Orlando has the first pick 2 years in a row, but it did. But Penny said he really wanted to play with O'Neal. So right before the draft came, Penny actually did another practice for them, and what ended up happening was, because of that practice, they changed their mind, and this was like 2 days before the draft, and Magic traded Weber for Penny and two, I think, first round picks in the future, and so he got to play with Shaq, and so he had a good rookie season. Um, he had his first triple double on tax day. Um, he in his second year he actually led Orlando to the finals, outplaying Michael Jordan. Now, if you remember that year, Jordan came back around the middle of March, end of March that year, and he was doing the 45. And then in the playoffs, Jordan went up against Penny, and Penny just took him to town and really played well against him. And so then he really got a lot of publicity. But let me give you some of his things here. He was a 4-time All-Star. He was a 2-time All-Star first team, an All-First team, excuse me. He was the NBA Rookie Challenge MVP. And let me just kind of give you some of his numbers here. And here's the thing. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think Penny Hardaway is overrated for a couple of reasons. One, he had that commercial with the little doll. And two, he has those famous shoes. And so Nike got a hold of him. But I just don't think, as you look at the numbers, even before injury, that it bears out that he is a um, even close to a Hall of Famer, even Hall of very, very good. Um, he's a Hall of better than average, but not Hall of great. And even before, I know he was on the rise, and we'll never know, but let me just give you his numbers. And I mean, I got a huge debate about this, and um, said, if this guy's negative on Penny, no, actually, whenever I'd play my old NBA games, I always was him because I felt bad. He's one of my favorite players to watch, and I really wanted him to do well. And so let's kind of go through the numbers here. Rookie year, averaged 16 points. He had about 5.5 rebounds and a little over 6.5 assists per game. Sophomore year, when he went to the finals, he had 20.9 points per game, so almost 21 points a game. Almost 4.5 rebounds, and his assists actually went up too. He had 7.2 rebounds per game. And then the next year after they went to the finals, and he was great even in the finals. And after he surpassed Jordan, he just did really well. Even though they were swept by Houston, I mean, that was a year where Houston was stacked. I mean, they were stacked. I mean, they had Robert Ory. They had, I mean, Olajuwon was just in his prime, and he took Shaq to town, and he really took Shaq out in a lot of ways. Now Shaq still had his point, but Olajuwon at that time was really a savvy center. I mean, that's the word that comes to my mind is savvy. And Shaq hadn't reached his prime yet, and Shaq just, was in the process of becoming a dominant force. I think had Shaq been, in his prime, I think that Orlando would have won. And maybe if Penny never got hurt, it was his prime, he would have won too. But they had some players there. I mean, and if I recall, Houston also had Clyde Drexler, Sam Cassell. I mean, they had solid, solid players around them. Whereas, Orlando really was Penny and Shaq's show. But I think, if you look at this, it's like, wow, he really, really did solid, but I think he averaged about 25 to 26 points a game over the finals. Or here it is. Here's the numbers: 24.5 points per game, almost 5 rebounds and 8 assists per game. Now listen to this. During that finals, even though they were swept, he shot over 50%, about 50% from the field. That is amazing. So 1 out of every 2 shots from the field were going in, and that's over a whole series. That's incredible. That is just awesome. So he really did well. So the reason why they lost the finals had nothing to do with Penny Hardaway. Anything had more to do with Shaq just trying to keep up with Team Olajuwon. And they just had so many players. You got Clyde Drexler, even though he wasn't in his prime, he was just on the downside of his prime. But Clyde was in his prime, arguably was a top 3 player in the league. I would say when he was in his prime, if you had just pure players, would be Jordan, and I would probably put Clyde and maybe Dominique Wilkins in that, and Charles Barkley and stuff like that. I mean, Clyde was a household name for Portland. Portland has a small arena, and Portland was, on the West Coast. Kind of forget about stuff, but Clyde Drexler was nothing to laugh at. And Sam Cassell is a very good all-around point guard, and Robert Ory. So they had lots of players. And I'm thinking of Otis Thorpe they had on that team. I'm forgetting some players there, but they had a solid team. And so, anyways, shoot 50% from the field. The Orlando Magic didn't lose because of Penny. Okay, he had one of the greatest finals for individual, even though they were in the losing end. And so, the next year, the season started out where actually Shaq was hurt, and so Penny kind of started, and this was his highest points per game. He only had 21.9. So it was 21.7 points per game. He only had 21.7 points per game that year, but he was still playing well. I mean, he really did well. And his third year, 96 and 97, he had 20.5 and 16.4 the next year. And then he got, last year he had a little less than 16 points. Then he was struggling with injuries. And then the next year, this was 99, he went to Phoenix and played for Phoenix for a while and did well. I mean, he was, had some pretty decent seasons, but like I said, he was always struggling with the injuries. Let me give you his final statistics. Okay, for a career, he only averaged 15.5 points per game. He had 10,684 points. Assists, he averaged 5. He had 3,525, and rebounds, 4.4. So, I just don't think they reverence Hall of Fame career. Okay, let me just give you a look at the figure. And I got they have two figures. I'll get back to saying about Penny, but they have two figures. This is the one with the puffy cheeks. So he's playing, always puffs his cheeks out, and then they have a normal face. I just prefer the normal face of the two. And if I would have bought the home jersey, it was a lot more. So I just thought, well, this could be a away jersey. And the jersey looks solid, nice. That Penny head sculpt is incredible. And today, hit a home run on that head sculpt. It is just, it is so well done. I don't know what to say about that. It's just really good. And I'm sorry, all I have is a phone to do videos. Cause I wish I had a nice little video thing. Somebody wants to get me one out. And I didn't realize that till when you watch on YouTube, it actually kind of cuts close. So I'm trying to get as close as I can. But just well done. It is. I got this at the end of December. A couple days after Christmas, but I know he's due. If you want to get the 2-pack, he's due in the States at about middle to end of February, from what I hear. There's his jersey, Orlando Magic, #1. And the knee pad. There's no Nike logo. I will probably get one, and like I do with my other ones, to put a Nike decal on there. But Penny shoes. Here's the base. I got a couple extra hands. There's a little leg tattoo there, which is accurate. And I think Enterbay did really well. Even on the other head sculpt, the puffy cheek, even though I didn't like it, that's what he looked like when he was playing. So that was a pretty accurate head sculpt. But anyways, I got a basketball with it too. Nice. Then I do like what Enterbay's done. They have really fixed that arm problem where the arms crack. And, it's like click when you move it. It's like a ratchet. They no longer do that. I'm not afraid to pull his arms up and down, that they're going to break like LeBron's figure does. I would like Enterbay actually to fix that. Some of their older and reproduce those, get those things fixed, because I've seen on Instagram and different things and I had the same problem with one of my LeBrons. I moved the arm too fast and it snapped. The thing just snapped off, and I had to get another one. I was not happy. So Enterbay definitely fixed that. But I would say that this head sculpt is probably, they say that Enterbay's best basketball head sculpt would be Jordan, and I would agree. And I think this one would be a close second. I just think Enterbay hit this head sculpt out of the park. And anyways, I think of a figure just on itself, and I've seen pictures of the other one. I would have to give it a 5 out of 5. Just the whole thing, the package, everything. I like how they have the 2-pack for the box opens. I did order an extra little thing behind it. The magnetic box like Shaq has. For $25. That's on its way. But just besides that, that's kind of well, I just didn't want 2 figures of a guy that I didn't think was worthy of a 2-pack. A guy that roughly, Enterbay is making. I think this Enterbay Bill guy is a product of the '90s, and that's where his favorite era is, because you can see the figures he's chosen. I just would like to see them get a Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, stuff like that. I think that there would be better sales. However, I know that the next one I've heard, the next 2 figures are Yao Ming and T-Mac. So I don't know if that's a 2-pack. I'm not sure what the deal is, but I've heard those are the next 2 figures that are due out. But I would just implore Enterbay to get some of those other players. And I'm biased. I would love to have like a Charles Barkley, Dominique Wilkins, Larry Bird, those kinds of guys, Magic Johnson. That's my thing. I mean, I would love Clyde Drexler. I love watching Jordan and Clyde play, or Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. I would love to have that, because I think it would be good, really well with my Jordan figures. But anyways, I will take this one, but I didn't get the 2-pack, so this won't be a full review. But the 1-pack definitely was worth $150 plus 20 in shipping. But Anyways, I hope you have a great day. God bless, and I'm out.